The works that ComDane are building for the Murray-Darling Basin Authority at the moment are a fairly complex set of works, but the simple explanation is that they form a ring around an area of high-value floodplain. That ring can be opened and closed to allow natural floodwaters in and out, or allow them to be kept on site for longer. And if the need arises, the pump station that's being constructed can be used to fill that area up on the floodplain. The project has its origins sort of in early 2002 when there was a decision taken by the MDBA to start to preserve critical elements of the floodplain. So prior to construction, there's 10 years worth of detailed investigations and concept design work that went into the development of this project. The long and the short of it is that the works here will enable the 12 Ramsar listed lakes to be protected in perpetuity.
Look, there's some pretty big infrastructure we're building. The pump's behind us. This will end up being one of the biggest pump stations in Australia. It'll deliver 1 billion litres of water per day at peak capacity, which translates, if you're from an urban water environment, to 12,000 litres per second. And the water from these pump stations will go down and bank up against some regulating structures, which the gates in those, we understand, are some of the largest dual-leaf penstock gates in Australia as well. So, big infrastructure, delivering big benefits, I suppose. Goulburn Murray Water was looking for a team with a good mix of construction skills and also the ability to project manage the environmental, cultural heritage and a whole raft of other issues on the project. So to be selected by Goulburn Murray Water amongst a high calibre field was fantastic to get the opportunity to work. As you'll agree, it's a pristine natural park, and to be able to build such significant infrastructure to deliver great benefits to the environment and the local community, it's just an outstanding opportunity for the business. You'd have to put it down to relationships. At the end of the day, there's an easy way and a hard way to get things done, and the easiest way is just to get along with people, and it's something ComDane as a business prides itself in its relationships with its clients and the stakeholders, but equally importantly with our subcontractors and suppliers. Different companies take different approaches, but what works for us is treating everyone well, making sure they get a return out of it and that they enjoy the experience as well. And I think if you asked everyone on site who's been involved with this, they'd all say that exact same thing. It's been an enjoyable experience and they've got something out of it for themselves.
The Living Murray program came about, and that was really in response to the declining health of the floodplain all along the Murray River. And so it was around that time that the number of states and the federal government decided to invest some time and money into a lot of these natural assets around the floodplain, and Hattah Lakes being one of those. So we were lucky enough to be part of the Living Murray program. There's only 5 or 6 sites involved. So yeah, we became one of the sites where they wanted to invest some time and effort and money. So the project really began back then. Lots of investigation into really looking at some of the ways where we can restore this floodplain here and restore the lakes to get better flows back into the floodplain and restore the health of the lakes.
There's a lot of planning and scheduling that goes in to make sure that everything runs smoothly and efficiently. Concrete, we've got sort of some of the concrete pours that are 80 to 100 cubic metres coming from some hour and a half away. So each truck has to be scheduled to the last minute, so they turn up and you haven't got trucks banked up on site. Make sure that the rise rate doesn't exceed the formwork. So there's a lot of coordinating to make sure that everything runs smoothly and that the job is carried out and as successful as what it has been. Well, it's 28 kilometres from north to south from where the material comes from. So the material also around here is very high dispersive material, and it's also coming out of the ground at 5% dry of optimum moisture. So there's a lot of work and care taken into trying to precondition that material to bring it to optimum moisture, and then load onto truck and trailers and cart it some 28 kilometres back to the construction crews. It's been a great project for that. There's been everything from 22-metre poles that are located out in the water, being driven by an excavator on a barge. We've had 8-metre sheet piles, we've built 7-metre high concrete structures. There's compaction, there's levee banks, there's rock work, there's electrical switch rooms, there's pumps. There's nothing, you know, that you can't sink your teeth into onto this job. It's been fantastic.